What's going on, everyone? Back again with another video where I answer your questions. I'm a little backed up on some of my questions that you guys may have noticed. I found a couple questions that I grouped together today, and let's get started. So the first question I got today is from Bao. Bao says, "Hi Brian, my name is Tran. I'm currently a pharmacy technician working in a retail pharmacy, and I really dislike the environment I work. I feel that I get stuck right now. I know what I want to do, something related to math, finance, or computer science, but my parents convinced me to go for pharmacy. I thought it was fine to study for pharmacy. I'm already done with all the pharmacy prereqs, and I finished my application for pharmacy school. However, after working as a pharmacy technician, I don't know if pharmacy is the right choice for me. I heard people say that working in a hospital will be completely different from working in retail. I watched all your videos about Informatics Pharmacist. I'm really interested in Informatics Pharmacist path. What classes do you recommend me to take? Should I take computer programming classes? Please help, I feel lost with my future right now. Thank you so much." Alright, so Tran. That's a pretty difficult question, but rightfully so. You know, it's certainly a difficult time, especially as you're trying to figure out where you want to go with your career choice. First of all, it's pretty great that you already finished your prereq for pharmacy and you already finished your application for pharmacy school. Working in a hospital is completely different than working in retail. Yes, it is very different. I can't comment much about the retail side. I had 3 months experience working at Walgreens. So I was a pharmacy intern there for 3 months, did my internship. So that's the extent of my experience. So I don't have too much experience there, but I can tell you in those 3 months and having the majority of my experience in hospital, it is drastically different. Even within hospital, it's drastically different. So, getting a call. The short answer is yes, it's very different. Then in your question about what classes to take, I'm not really sure from what angle I should answer that from, because you applied to pharmacy school already, you already finished your prereq, so I'm not sure if you're asking courses before you enter pharmacy school or courses after. But since you're in a state where you're kind of pre-pharm still right now, well, since you're technically pre-pharm right now, I'll say a couple things, because you mentioned computer programming classes or computer science classes. I would not recommend any specific computer programming or computer science courses right now. And the reason why is because Java, HTML, C++, Oracle, whatever it may be, any computer type courses, you may not use as an informatics pharmacist. I don't use any of those. So I think it's a hard for me to recommend a course when I don't even use those kind of skills. They certainly teach you a lot of other things that will help, like type of systems type thinking, but right now, especially because you're in pre-pharm, I wouldn't recommend any specific course in particular. I don't even know if I would recommend any courses at all right now. But a nice hybrid approach, like kind of an in-between because you're pre-pharm, is I might suggest a pharmacy-oriented project, more so like a project of some sort. So you work in retail right now, maybe working on some type of initiative or doing something like that. Let's say you're trying to increase a certain metric at your retail store, where you're either increasing your flu shot, trying to increase your flu shots, trying to increase your patient compliance. These are definitely not metrics in retail, but certain projects, whatever the projects are in your retail position, I would recommend, instead of taking a course, to work with your pharmacy manager and determine what kind of things are needed there. What kind of projects can I help with? Work on the project from start to finish. Those skills can't really be taught by some type of didactic course. Truly, I mean, you can learn a lot about it, of course, but the motion and the action of actually doing it, implementing it, thinking about how I can do something, like let's say even something like increasing, let's say your pharmacy wants to increase patient compliance, or increase counseling. Thinking about it, how can I do that at this store? You know, how can I target that demographic? Should I start with, you know, the patients who are least compliant? Should I do an analysis first? You know, working and thinking through those things teaches you a lot of the skills, especially the soft skills that we use in Informatics Pharmacy. I think that approach, especially since you're pre-pharm, is more beneficial than taking Computer Programming 101 or C++ 101, something like that. So that's what I recommend for you. Try to partner with your pharmacy manager, or if you volunteer anywhere, anything pharmacy oriented, I would try to take on a course. I would try to work on a pharmacy oriented project first. And the other thing I'll comment on that is, as an informatics pharmacist, we are pharmacists first. Informatics is a specialty of pharmacy, so if we just do, like, let's say if we only know C++ or only know Python, then we're only a computer science major, or like someone who is in tech. We're not pharmacy. So it's really important to integrate you know, our projects with pharmacy operations and pharmacy management. Hope that answers your question. Feel free to ask more. So the next question is from Esan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Definitely let me know if I'm not. So Esan says, hi Brian, I really enjoyed your last video about desirable skill sets and misconceptions for informatics pharmacists. It was very informative and helpful for someone like me who is really interested in that field. I'm really interested in learning more about informatics pharmacist field. In general, health informatics is one of those things that I have always been following. So here I have a question. As we talked before, I am a PY1 student. My question is that when and where should I start looking for opportunities in the field? What intern positions do you think helps to become more closely familiar in the field? So I think the answer here would be very similar to my previous answer to Tran, where, you know, first and foremost, you know, you're looking for opportunities in the field, right? So first and foremost, we're pharmacists. I wouldn't recommend, at least right now, especially as a first year student still, so just like the same rationale for a pre-pharmacy student, because you're in a first year student, I highly recommend learning the ins and outs of pharmacy first. So in terms of like internship positions, any internship position in a community/retail position, hospital internship, MTM internship, academia internship, wherever it may be, as long as it's a core pharmacy practice first. You want to know what pharmacist does and what we do as pharmacists in order to design and even think about how we can innovate their practice or design the tools that pharmacists use in their day-to-day practice. You know, it's very difficult to design something for someone when you don't know what they do. So internship positions, any pharmacy position is great. You don't have to specifically look for informatics type experiences. Pharmacy experiences first. I can't emphasize that enough. Really, really important. And the reason why is because if you don't understand pharmacy practice, and you end up getting into informatics, you're gonna have a difficult time designing the tools that they need, and you might design something that's actually doesn't fit into their workflow. Then no one's gonna use it. So really important about that. In terms of like opportunities though, you know, just like what I said earlier to the previous answer, you can work in a pharmacy and then pick up projects that will teach you just project implementation, project lifecycle, and really how to manage and start a project, monitor the project, and end up ultimately finishing that project. So that can be done anywhere, and in any internship, it doesn't really matter. So I think that is really important. And it's kind of like the hybrid thing where you're getting your pharmacy practice and then you're also learning the soft skills that we use as informatics pharmacists, like project management and communication and how to be able to articulate things that may not make sense to others while you're working on your projects. You head up the project, you know the most about that project, and it's usually up to you to articulate and convey, you know, how this project's gonna work. How do we educate people about the project and how to make it successful? So a lot of soft skill development from doing that. And it doesn't even have to be related to informatics, but the whole idea of project management is developed. And your skills as a project manager, which are definitely needed for informatics, will be refined as you do that. So you don't even have to do anything about informatics or look for positions in there to get that kind of experience. In addition, if you really want something informatics, you want to say you've been involved with informatics type projects or informatics organizations since day one, there are lots of great opportunities for you out there. Number one, I always will say that ASHP has some of the best resources and best communities for you to get involved with, and especially for students. There's a whole student section and forum that lots of students are involved in doing these national type projects, which is awesome to not only have on your resume, but to learn those kind of skills. Now, since we're on the topic of informatics, ASHP, I probably mentioned in a couple other videos before, but ASHP has a section advisory group for pharmacy informatics and technology. It's like a year-long commitment. There are students in that section advisory group every year, and they're great. They're learning. They don't know a lot of the technical jargon or things that we use, but they're there, they're involved, they ask questions, and then they slowly develop over time, and they become great assets, if not great assets already, because some of them already have interest and experience in very technical things, and they bring a different level of a whole different level of contribution as a student, which is also great. But that's another way for you to get involved. You can sign up for section advisory groups for ASHP in informatics and technology every year. 1 year commitment. Typically you put in your application in April of every year, so we're coming around to April soon. When April rolls around, look out for that. I'll post a link below if you're interested. You can go check out those section advisory groups, get involved. That's another way you can do that. And kind of also answering the first question too, but also yours. If you guys are looking for like other things to do in terms of like either getting didactic information, which is more so probably pre-pharmacy, or right now in pharmacy school, if you want didactic information or even get a certification, I think one of the nice things you can do is get involved with HIMSS. And I'll post a link about it below, but there is a certification. They offer 2 certifications for informatics professionals. One is like CPHIMS and one is CAHIMS. CPHIMS are for like individuals that have been practicing and been involved in informatics for like 3+ years, so it's more so for the working professional. And then CAHIMS are for individuals who are new to informatics and want to learn more about it. So I believe it's free. The certification's not free, but if you want to take their courses and read through their lectures, because I remember I was a student, well actually I wasn't a student, I was a resident, and I wanted to just learn more about informatics. So I signed up for it. I downloaded all the lectures just to learn more about informatics. They're like lots of material. You can learn about a ton of stuff there. And I remember like if I wanted to get the certification, it was gonna cost like a lot of money, and I was like, I didn't want to pay for it. But it's free. The didactic portion, learning about it, is all free. And let's say you want to spend the money and actually take the certification. Now you can get your CAHIMS and actually say you have a legit didactic experience under your belt. So I think that's another opportunity that you can explore. The certification, I think, I probably shouldn't even say anything because I don't know. I think it's between $300 to $500, something like that. Alright guys, so that's kind of it. Trying to keep the video short. If you guys have more questions or even comments or thoughts, feedback, whatever it may be, feel free to message me, or even better, post it in the comments below so everyone can see your question, and I'll respond to your questions at that time. Alright guys, until next time. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in and watching the video. If you like the content, definitely hit the ImproRx button over to your left to subscribe, and definitely check out more videos over here to your right. Now, as always, if you have questions, comments, and even better, suggestions for future videos, definitely let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, until next time guys,